Hey, what's happening? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Malik, the Cool Brother. You are now tuning into the Cool Podcast. And my special guest this evening is a returning guest. This brother is doing big things in the 412. He too has a podcast just like me. So check it out every Saturday. Go up to his spot. I was a guest a couple of times. He's doing dope things in the 412 in the Steel City, Pittsburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reintroduce to you the good brother, Monstar Marley. What's happening, good brother? Welcome back.
Hey, what up? What up? What up? It's your boy Marley. It's Marley. What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. Not much, man. How you been, man? What's been new with you? Tell the listeners what you doing, what you about.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm doing well, man. I can't complain. Life's good. I'm a as you said, I'm a hip hop artist, as well as a podcast host, as well as an entrepreneur. I have my own brand, Blamo, which is Black Money, the Black Money brand. That's something that's a newer venture. We can definitely get off into that as well.
Okay.
But most recently, I just dropped my project, man. Dreams Don't Expire.
Okay.
Dreams Don't Expire. It's an EP, three-song EP, completely produced, mixed, and mastered by my homie Nate Fox. Nate Fox is an amazing producer, and he's a Grammy Award-winning producer
Oh,
um, for
nice.
the, for the work that he did with Chance the Rapper on the Coloring Book
Okay.
album. He was he's one of Chance's producers, and he's produced for many amazing artists like J. Cole, Kimba, Shawn Mendes. The list goes on and on of his accomplishments and accolades. And we got together. We did this three-song EP, man, and I'm real proud of it. It gave me a chance to kind of explore my creativity. It gave me a chance to dig off into a different realm, give the listeners a different side of me, a different sound for me.
Nice, nice. And so why'd you call it that, your EP? What inspired you to name that your EP that title?
Yeah, dreams don't expire, man. Multiple reasons. Multiple reasons led up to me naming it "Dreams Don't Expire." One of them was inspired by a conversation that Nate and I had. Um, Nate's a longtime friend of mine. I've known him since we like senior year of high school, getting ready to graduate, and we both were from neighboring small towns. And Nate, whenever I met Nate, he was a producer, a young guy, and he told me that he made beats, and we wanted to work together. We ended up working together, and we kind of had a bond and friendship ever since.
Okay.
Um, you know, then as we grew older, we both went our separate ways, kind of started living life, and
Mm-hmm.
he went on to work with a lot of amazing artists like the ones I named, and I went on to um, not have that type of success, but success in my own right, independently and amongst my peers as an emerging artist.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a conversation, and I asked him if he didn't have the success that he had with all of the accolades, and he would have stuck around and stayed local, would he have continued to pursue his music career? And some of the title was inspired from that conversation that him and I had. Also, I think it's important that people do remember that dreams don't expire. I want people to know that your dreams, no matter what they are, how lofty they are, or how big they are, or how big you set them, um, you should know that there's no time limit on those things. Sometimes we put time limit on things, and we say, if I don't do this in this year, or when I get to be this age, or if
Mm-hmm.
I don't meet this milestone at this point, then I won't I'll give it up. But sometimes our time isn't God's time. It's not the universe time. It's not divine time. So we have to learn to be, patient, and then we have to learn to accept those things. And if you're truly passionate about something, you shouldn't do it for no other reason than the fact that you're passionate about it.
Absolutely. And like you said, dreams don't expire, passion doesn't expire, and passion has no age limit. No matter
Right.
what age you are, if you still got that passion burning inside you, continue to go for it. Whatever it is, music, movies, etc. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of music, how long you been in the game in the scene here in the 412?
Man, I've been in the game for some time now, man. I couldn't say
Okay.
exactly how long, but I've been in the game for some time, and I've been able to do a lot of cool things, and as I reference in my song "Great Planet" from the album.
Hmm.
Music has been one hell of a vehicle for me, and allowed me a lot of different opportunities
Right.
throughout that time, and it allowed me to meet a lot of individuals throughout that time. So, I never keep track of it in that way,
Hmm.
um, but I do. Well, I don't track music, in a time way, but I do track it by projects, if you will, how many
Yeah.
projects and different things I put out.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And and speaking of projects, how many projects you have released throughout your career?
I have 5 studio projects
Okay.
um, that I've released throughout my career, and a ton of singles and features and things like that to go along with those things.
Okay. Nice.
Serious Business was the first project. It was a mixtape, um, and it was probably like 21 tracks. It
Hmm.
was my first official project. I had some things I did prior to that, but never really an official project. I was in the studio, did the whole thing, had it mixed,
Hmm.
had it mastered. That was on that Piff, but they took that Piff down, and the that project kind of went with that Piff. So I do have some songs I've been considering re-releasing from it,
Hmm.
but it's, you can't find that project. You can't find singles from that project. And then I had the Marley State of Mind series, which is still continuing. Marley State of Mind 1, Marley State of Mind 2, Marley State of Mind 2.5. And this most recent project I have, Dreams Don't Expire.
Okay. Okay. And speaking Marley State of Mind, you named that after your podcast. Let's talk about that. What made you decide to enter the podcast realm?
Yeah, man, for sure. So the podcast is named after the Marley State of Mind series. Of course, inspired by just my thought process and my creativity.
Hmm.
Um, So you've been down to the podcast. For those who aren't familiar with the podcast,
Hmm.
I collaborate on a podcast with my homie Jesse of Bunch of Bull Studios, the big bull
Yes.
himself,
Hmm.
Jesse. And Jesse had a podcast on his network, Bunch of Bull, that he was doing for some time.
Yeah.
Jesse was nice enough to invite me down to his podcast, Bullshitting with Jesse. And
Hmm.
we had a real good rapport. We had a good time on the podcast. And we ended up speaking after the podcast, and we continued to have conversations. And I told him it was something that I was interested in because I have a lot of friends who do music, and I thought it would be a good space for me to get into. And I also
Hmm.
wanted to provide a platform for artists and creatives, emerging artists and creatives who wouldn't otherwise have the platform, and allow people to get a chance to get to know these artists. I'm a big proponent of when people get to know the artists.
Hmm.
Um, when they become familiar with the artist, they start to become fond of those artists and they become invested in the journey.
Okay.
So it was an opportunity for me to provide that type of platform. Something I wish we had more of, like your platform, for artists to go and speak and for people to become familiar with them.
No doubt, no question. And I think, it's a beautiful thing that you step into the podcast room like myself to give artists the freedom to express themselves any way, shape, or form. And we need more of that here in the 412 in the Pittsburgh Steel City. You know what I'm saying?
For sure,
No doubt, no doubt. And
for sure.
so when you first started your podcast, was you nervous being a host of your podcast? Because I know
No, I
I
don't think
was. I
I.
was nervous.
No, no, no. I wasn't nervous at all, man. I like the I kind of had an idea what I wanted to do. I kind of had an idea of what it would look like, and like I said, a lot of the guests that I had on, especially early on, were people who I was familiar with, who
Hmm.
already had a rapport with, who already had a friendship with, or at least a rapport, like I said, with. So I knew we were just going to have a conversation, and I like to think of myself as a pretty good conversationalist. So I
Hmm.
know we wouldn't have a problem having a conversation. So no, I wasn't nervous. It was a new venture. I wasn't nervous. I wanted to make sure I got it right. I wanted to make sure I did a good job. I wanted to make sure I represented the artist in a way that I felt was proper. I wanted to make sure I gave people a platform that they could be heard on, and I wanted to make sure that and I really desired to be one of those places that people wanted to be on. Like they'll say, "Oh, I seen Malik do that
Hmm.
podcast. I really want to be on that." I thought that was dope.
Right.
So that those were kind of my goals going into it. I really didn't have um, a lot of expectations going into it.
Hmm.
Um, but here we are. I mean, I'm over 100 episodes deep now.
Nice.
Um, you know, like to think I'm a veteran in that space now, and we stayed consistent in what we done, and I can't emphasize enough how important Jesse, Caleb, Cam, all the guys down there at a bunch of Bull Studio are, how important they are to helping me do what I do,
Right.
because I couldn't do it without them, man. I couldn't, and it helps to keep us looking professional. People come down there, they're impressed by the layout, they're
Yeah.
impressed by the way that we're able to run things, and I couldn't do none of that without those guys. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah,
They
yeah.
provided me a space where all I have to do is bring people in, and
Hmm.
everything else is done for me. So
Nice.
it's a beautiful team effort as far as that goes.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely a nice layout. I've been there um twice, I believe. I think twice. Yeah, twice, I
Yeah,
think.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so I would definitely love to come back one day. And you got a guest coming up on the podcast this upcoming Saturday?
So this Saturday we're gonna do a music review,
Okay.
and we're gonna do a video. It's like I wanted to do like a TRL, a Total
Okay.
Request Live, or a 106 in Park, where
Yeah.
I play a lot of emerging and local and upcoming musicians on there. So we did an episode a couple weeks ago like that, when I first had the idea, and it was really successful. We had a lot of people end up tuning in who normally don't tune in. We had some guys from over like UK. We had somebody from North Carolina. We had a lot of people who we haven't heard from before, tuning in and submitting music. We
Hmm.
we came across some real dope artists, man.
Hmm.
Um, Banjo Cliff being one of them, man. Shout out to that boy, man. He came in and he really impressed us,
Yeah.
um, with the music he did. But yeah, man. So this week we don't have a guest, but we're
Okay.
gonna do the music reviews live. Send something in too, bro.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I could do that. How can I submit? Well,
yeah,
you could tell me
no,
off before.
yeah. Tune in, man. It's gonna be My
Okay.
State of Mind podcast. This
Okay.
upcoming Saturday, 8 o'clock. Tune in and check us out live, and we'll have all the information there for everyone to submit that wants to submit.
All right, and I can check it out on YouTube, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, yes. I think I followed the page on my YouTube account. So yeah, yeah, I definitely
Yeah, a bunch
because
of Bull
I
Studios, man.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, I definitely I think I subscribe to that channel too. So yeah, yeah, I'll check it
Very
out for
dope.
sure. No doubt,
Very
no
dope.
doubt. Now, I want to also discuss you got a very like partnership, friendship with the good brother Scrap Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, shout out to him. So how did y'all two connected? Because I know y'all I'm pretty sure y'all go way, way back in the scene.
Yeah, man. So Scrap ran a series and still runs a series. I'm not sure if it's how active the series is currently. I'm called Proud to Be Local.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Hollywood at the time were doing the Proud to Be Locals, and I was fortunate enough to reach out. I'm not even sure who I reached out to at the time or how I even got to be a part of the Proud to Be Local, and this was at the Shadow Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I went in there, it was a very professional setup. Those guys had like contracts that they wanted you to sign. It was the first time I've been to a show,
Mm-hmm.
especially a local show. It's probably the last time I've been to a show and a local show at that, where
Mm-hmm.
you signed a contract before performing at the show, and so I did the show at the Shadow Lounge. I turned it up, man. I like to consider myself a pretty good performer. I think it's one of
Yeah,
the things that I do best. And I
yeah,
turned it up.
absolutely.
I turned it up. Had a great performance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Scrap and Hollywood both were impressed, and they spoke about it in that way. And then I kind of built a rapport with Scrap from there. He had a lot of respect for my craft and what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even with Statement Records for a moment, which was Scrap's imprint.
Yeah,
Um,
yep.
so I did we did like an unofficial Statement record deal, if you will, and I was down with the team, and we did some songs. We never did any projects. I don't even know if we ever released any songs
Mm-hmm.
from the project. And you know what? Scratch all that. I'm lying. So I just remembered. I'm lying. I didn't. That's not how we met. The way that we met was at the Nuke Naka show. Shout out
Okay.
to Nuke Naka and Junior Moth, man. Rest in peace to Junior Moth, man. But the Nuke Naka show. So there was this show. There was this radio show in Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
called Pirate Radio. And
Okay.
this was like right before pod. This is great actually. This is right before podcasting ever took off. I'm not going to say podcasting didn't exist,
Mm-hmm.
but it certainly didn't exist um, in the way that we know it now, and it certainly wasn't as popular as it is now. But these guys had an amazing radio show where they played a lot of local music. Nuke Naka's a crazy, incredible DJ, one of the dopest DJs I know. I mean, real DJ, mixing, scratching on the
Hmm.
turntables. I'm talking about a real DJ. Some of these guys go and
Yeah.
press play and they call themselves Nuke
Right.
Naka's a
Right.
DJ. He's on the
Right.
ones and twos spinning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had a dope setup down there. You know, they had drinks. It was like a party vibe. And I had a song called "So Cool" on the Marley State of Mind, the first Marley State of Mind project.
Hmm.
And I submitted it to Nuke Naka, and I don't even know if he knows this. So funny enough, I submitted the song to Nuke Naka,
Hmm.
and I hit him up, and I did something tricky, right? There's this group I love called Commonwealth, and they had a song on the pirate radio, and they were promoting it on there, and I was like, oh, I want to be a part of that. If
Hmm.
Commonwealth is on there, it must be fire. So I
Hmm.
hit Nuke Naka up, and I said, hey man, did you get my submission? Now, mind you, I never sent him anything at all.
Hmm.
We never had a conversation prior to that. I said, you said you were going to post my submission today. I said, I didn't see it up there. Did you get it? And he was like, oh, he was really apologetic. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Send it through. I'll post it right now. And I
Hmm.
pulled a little trickery. So he ended up posting a song. It was highly successful on a radio station. It was like the top three song. It was
Wow.
me. It was I wasn't number one. It was three. And it was
Hmm.
John Basement was the number one song. Shout out to John Basement.
And shout out to
Um,
him.
Mr. Scrap and Capital L had the number two song, and I had the number three song. So
Nice.
they had Scrap and I on the episode. They brought us in because the songs were so popular, and we
Yeah.
did a freestyle at the end.
Okay.
They would do like a freestyle, real freestyle off the top, and me and Scrap were going in on the freestyle, and
Hmm.
that's how we first built a rapport. Then he had me on Proud to Be Local.
Okay.
So it wasn't Proud to Be Local that started us. It was Nuke Naka. Rest in peace to Junior Moth, man. Moth just passed recently, earlier this year.
Our
He was,
condolences.
yeah, he was so important in my career as well. He managed me for a while and
Hmm.
really believed in what I was doing. Um, but yeah, shout out to Nuke Naka, Junior Moth, Pirate Radio, man. Them boys was pioneers, um, doing some incredible stuff, putting artists together and getting artists played. They had like global
Hmm.
reach too. You know, they were getting music played all around. So
Okay.
that's how
Right.
that's how me and Scrap came to know each other.
Nice. Nice. Now, did y'all
Yeah,
two ever collaborate on wax in the studio? I'm pretty sure y'all did, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, we did. Like I said, none of those songs were ever released. We did some
Mhm.
songs together,
Okay.
but we never released anything. We never had anything officially released.
Oh yeah, and why is that?
No reason in particular. It happens,
Okay.
man. I do a lot of features and songs, and they never see the light of day, for
Okay.
whatever reason or not. You know what I mean? And usually, if I'm doing a feature, with someone, I have no expectations of anything. You know, it's your song to do what you will with it.
Yeah.
Um, Funny enough, though, I did say like I've given away a lot of dope verses,
Mhm.
for features, I think, I was telling my homie I'm gonna start telling dudes when we do features like, listen, if you don't release this within a year, I have the right to release this song.
Yeah.
Of course, you know I'll give you your credits, we'll do splits, all that, but
Hmm.
I be giving away too much heat and don't even know what be happening to them joints, bro.
Right. 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 You and plus, you know, now when you go in the studio, like say like you do a feature, somebody asks you to do a feature, do you
Hmm.
ask for compensation, like to get paid, or you just just do it freely, like for the love of it, or
It
both?
depends. It depends. Yeah, I do both, man. I mean, it depends on the artist, my
Mm-hmm.
relationship with the artist,
Hmm.
um, how it comes about. If you're reaching out to me for a feature, I'm not familiar with you.
Hmm.
I have to be asked. I have to ask for some type of compensation because I don't have a home studio or anything like that. So anytime I record, I'm going to a studio to record. And studio time's not cheap for me. I don't go to like just any studio. Any studio I go to is going to be quality, so I'm paying quality prices. So I need
Right.
compensated for my time. I mean, it's not even to gain a profit. It's to pay for the
Absolutely.
studio. It's to pay for the studio time,
Hmm.
that I'm going to record for. It's to pay for the transportation and those things. So absolutely, I do charge for features. But if it's the homie and I
Hmm.
rock with you like that,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to ask for any compensation for that. It's going to be an even exchange, and probably essentially we'll end up doing something for a
Mhm.
project of mine or something later on down the line. So yeah,
Okay.
it certainly depends on the situation.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I respect that. I respect that. So if it's like your homeboy, you say no, no, you good. But if it's somebody that you don't know real well and you just met, yeah, you ask them, can I get compensated for my time? You know.
Yeah, not only that,
Listen.
like I said, if I'm going to the studio, I got to pay for that as well. Usually, if it's the homie and it's
Yeah.
their feature and it's their stuff, I'll just go to their session, and I mean, I don't have to pay for the
Hmm.
recording. I've had homies that I collaborated with that, and they ask me for features. They invite me to their session, and it's nothing lost. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I hear you. I hear you. No question. And let's continue on the topic of features. Like, what is your favorite feature that you can think of right now that you look back at all the features that you did in your career, you say, yo, this was a dope feature. This is my favorite one. What's that to you? What's your favorite dope feature that you did with another artist?
Like I was featured on, or was featured on my project.
Or that you was featured on and featured on your project? Both, yes.
Um, That's a good question. I've done a lot of features. I couldn't say anything that I was featured on
Mm-hmm.
definitively. I couldn't say 100%. One of the things
Hmm.
that come to mind whenever you say that, my homie Billy Boy, shout out Billy Boy. We did a song together called "The Light," and I featured our homie Nova. Nova was singing the hook.
Okay.
Billy Boy and I was rapping. I really like that feature a lot. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of the ones that come to mind. As far as someone who was featured on my song, um, it's tough to say about that as well. I appreciate everyone that I feature with, but one of them that come to mind as well. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but it's certainly one that come to mind. Two of them that come to mind actually. One of them that come to mind is Barbados Black and I did a song called "Do You," which is streaming everywhere. Make sure y'all stream that. "Do You" featuring Barbados Black. It's just a single. It's not a part of any project. That's when I love that song. It's something that
Hmm.
took me out of my element. Something different. Really dope vibes. Really chill.
Hmm.
Um, and one of the most, funny enough, one of the most successful, as far as like streaming and all that stuff goes, is a song that me and Shamar have together, um, called "Trip to Mars."
Hmm.
Which is a play on words, right? Because he's a Shamar, I'm
Yeah.
Marley Mar,
Yeah.
um, so it's a trip with the number two, to Mars,
Hmm.
because it's two Mars on the track,
Right.
um, which is like I said, streaming. It goes crazy, like globally, like it's streaming everywhere all the time. I don't know who picked up the track or where it's at. It might be on a
Hmm.
commercial somewhere I don't know about, man. I feel like
Yeah.
it's doing something somewhere I don't know about, but it goes crazy, as far
Yeah.
as like just numbers go. So,
Okay.
um, those two come to mind. But like I said, I can't necessarily call them my favorite. But there's certainly ones that come to mind.
Now, I recently seen a stat you saying that you recently collaborated with Shamar and Barbados once again, if I'm not mistaken.
No, no, no. I mentioned them as being some of my favorite
Oh,
collaborators.
okay, favorite. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, got you. Favorite. Got
No,
yeah,
but
not
I
mistaken.
did. I did recently collaborate with Barbados Black for a song that hasn't been released yet. It
Mm-hmm.
was fresh off of that session. Um, that song hasn't been released yet. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's going
Okay,
to come at the top of the year. Right now, I'm
okay,
just really just trying to push this "Dreams Don't Expire" with Nate.
okay.
um, and I'm trying to let that breathe for a while, and I really want to give it the attention it deserves. Like I said, Nate's did such an amazing job with the production, such an amazing job with the mixing. I sound so good on it, so different. Um, I'm really trying to let that project breathe, and I want it to get the proper spin that it deserves.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to get playlisted with the project. You know, what I mean, it's been part of some playlists and picked up by some bloggers. Make sure y'all go to Folded Waffle. It's a
Mm-hmm.
blog called Folded Waffle. They just showed me some love on there. They playlisted me on their blog as well as did a review for it. So make sure y'all check it out. Check that out. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to let that one breathe before I even
Yeah.
um, think about really releasing any new music. Try
Gotcha.
to do some visuals for that project. I already got a couple different animated visuals and things like that for it. But yeah, man, just
Okay.
trying to really trying to push this one, man. I feel like it's special. It's really special to me. Like I said, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
My kids love it. You know, what I mean, my son be
Oh,
requesting Gray Planet. He'd be like, "Oh,
yeah.
play, Daddy, play the Planet Faded Gray song." You know what I mean? He know
Mhm.
all the words to it. That's my first song that he
Right.
knows all the words to. So and it's clean, and the song's
Yeah.
like I don't curse in the whole song, which I don't always curse in my like I had songs, which is funny. I told my homie that. I told my homie Quest him and I was talking, and he said he wanted to do a song with no curse words. And I told him I said, bro, I have most of my songs don't have curse words in them. And
Yeah.
I think I rap so aggressively, people think I'm cursing in some of the songs.
Yeah.
But it's like most of them don't have curse words. And that comes from me writing when I was younger, and if my mom to hear the raps or whatever, I couldn't be cursing in them all crazy. So,
Right.
when I was younger, I used to write a lot of raps without curse words for that reason. Um, so yeah, man, that's really what I'm focused on. But yeah, me and Barbados just were in the studio, um, last Thursday actually.
Okay.
So yeah, man, that's coming at the top of the year. I'm expecting to drop that at the top of the
Okay. All right. So until then, it's a top secret song. Okay. I feel that. I feel
year.
that. It's top secret. That's what's up.
It's
I'm
not top
definitely.
secret. I'll send it to you, bro. I'll send it to you. You can check it out. Tell me what you think.
All right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah,
That'll
for
be
the
cool.
public, like I said, I just want to kind of let this project breathe a little bit and
Okay.
like really give it the attention it deserves for real, bro.
Word. Word. Now,
So
speaking of that project, dreams don't
dreams
expire.
don't expire, yes sir.
Dreams don't expire. Now, are you gonna shoot videos for the songs on the EP?
Yeah, yeah. I plan to shoot videos for all three of the songs. I'm gonna do a lot of visuals for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have short content, videos, long content. Like I said, I already got the animated video for Gray Planet. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Visuals
Okay.
coming for sure. Yeah,
No doubt. Is it gonna come later in the year or beginning of next year?
ASAP,
ASAP. Okay. All right. Cool.
ASAP.
Cool.
Yeah,
You ain't wasting no time, good brother. I like that. I
ain't
like that.
wasting no time, man. Can't
No
waste no
doubt.
time.
No doubt. Now I
Time's
know.
precious.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now I know I asked you this before. What
Hmm.
inspired you to do what you do, like in your career, like in the as a hip hop artist? Who inspired you to do what you do?
Um, man. I'm not sure what I said the first time, but I'd imagine it probably went something like this. At this point in my career, I mean, it's probably
Hmm.
just me, man. Just Marley songs, trying to
Hmm.
outdo myself,
Yeah.
trying to outdo the last project, trying to
Hmm.
do something different. Like I said, this project was real different.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes it's the producer that I'm working with that inspires me.
Hmm.
Life inspires me. My children inspire me.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, man, my inspiration comes from the world. I might watch a dope movie and I'm like, huh, let me try to put that into a song. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's a lot of different things that aren't traditional that inspire me. But as far as like influences go, though, I mean, like I'm a big Gucci Man fan,
Hmm.
huge Wiz fan. I love
Hmm.
Wiz. Um, I'm a big fan of Eminem and Biggie. Love Big. Big fan of Bob Marley. Um, so my influences come from some of those things. Nas, can't forget Nas. Been a lot of Nas slander lately. I don't like that shit.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
Nas is Nas is my daughter's favorite rapper, which is dope. I feel like I did a good job. Someone from her generation to be a Nas fan.
Hmm.
But yeah, man. My inspiration for my music is really just myself now, man. I'm just trying to outdo the last project, trying to do different things with my music. So that's really where my inspiration comes from. It's just um, might even be music that I made. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I should do something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of my
Right.
inspiration just comes from trying to be the best artist I can be, trying to be an artist, man.
Hmm. For sure. For sure. And speaking of your music, how would you describe your music to a listener that's that wants to listen to your music for the first time?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. No,
Thank you.
I would say it's versatility, man. I'm gonna have all sorts of flavors for you.
Hmm.
If you want some introspective music with a story to it, I'm gonna give you that. You know what I mean? If you want something that you could vibe to, you want something that you could chill to, something you could smoke to, I'm gonna give you that. If you want something you could turn up to, you can party to, I'm gonna give you those vibes. You know what I mean? It's just versatility. I'm gonna give you whatever you want. um, whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's the way I create. You know what I mean? I create in how I feel for that moment or how I want to feel in that moment. So it's no real style to it. I got flavors. I got all sorts of flavors.
Nice, nice, very nice, very nice. That's what it's
Yeah,
all
man.
about. You know, you versatile. You know, one song could be aggressive and another song could be smoothed out. You know, it depends
Right.
on how you feeling. You know what I'm saying? And that's I think that's what's missing in today's hip hop. You know, you got some artists out there that sound one way, but with you, you sound different on every record that you put out. And I think audience members that are fan of yours will notice that and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna continue on supporting this good brother because he sound like nobody else. He sound like him." When you
Yeah,
listen to a Marley record, you know it's him because the way he speaks, the way his delivery is, you know, they know it's you. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Yeah,
For
no
sure,
doubt,
man.
no
Yeah, no,
doubt.
I've been fortunate enough to find my sound early on in doing this, and I've been able to kind of elevate and grow my sound. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
One of the artists that asked for a feature that I've known for a long time recently
Hmm.
said that I inspired him, and which is funny because he's one of the guys I looked up to in the game. He's like, man, you inspire me by continuing to go and continuing to grow. He's like, every time I hear you, he said I can hear the growth in the music, and he was like, man, that makes me want to get back into it, and makes me
Yeah.
want to, kind of put, get my grind on because he did some like other stuff. He went into like the EDM world, different things like that. He's like, but
Uh-huh.
he's like, man, you made me want to start spitting again. So, yeah, man. And also, while I'm thinking about it, man, shout out to Showrunner, a producer from Seattle. We're working on something as well. So shout out to him when I was talking about flavors. He gave me some real dope West Coast
Hmm.
vibes. So we're working on something that's going to be real special as well. But yeah, man, that's really what it is for me, bro.
Okay. Okay. Now the dude that you mentioned about the West Coast, is he from the West Coast?
Yeah, he's from Seattle. Yep,
Oh,
Seattle,
Seattle.
Washington.
Okay.
Yep,
Seattle,
yep.
Washington. Have you been there before?
Yeah, yeah. I've been there a
Yeah.
couple. Yeah, I've been there a couple times. I toured out in Spokane, Washington.
Hmm.
I was on tour with Chris Webby, and one of the cities we hit was Spokane, Washington, and I've been out to Seattle a couple times. I've been out to Seattle to watch shows, and the homie DJ Afterthought was doing some DJing out there for a pretty big artist, and
Hmm.
he was nice enough to invite me out while I was staying in Portland, Oregon. He was nice enough to invite me and my homie out to the show he did. He was DJing for out in Seattle. So yeah, man, I got big love for Seattle. I love the Northwest. It's a different vibe out there, man. There, people were chill. They're kind of like hippies. The majority of them, you know what I mean. Smoke was legal out there for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, so it's a different vibe out there, and I love it. That's me at my truest essence is a hippie.
Yeah.
So
No
yeah,
doubt. No doubt.
uh,
No question. No doubt. Now
for
with this
sure.
now with this EP that you Dreams Don't Expire, do
Hmm.
you have any features or is it just you?
No, no features, no features. Just Nate and I, man. Nate on the production, and me on
Mm-hmm.
the lyrics.
Hmm.
It's a great combination of things, man. Like I said, Nate just did such a fantastic job
Uh-huh.
polishing it all up and making it sound like the way it should.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just him and I.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. And after you with the um after you done with the EP, like promoting it and all that good stuff, are you gonna drop another album or you just gonna like take a break in between of dropping another album?
No, ain't no breaks, bro. We ain't doing no breaks around here. No,
Okay.
like I said, I'm gonna let this breathe, and then I'm gonna drop some singles. One of the singles is the one that I alluded to earlier, with the
Mm-hmm.
homie Barbados Black. I'm excited for people to hear that. I think it's gonna shake some things up. I'm definitely working on some projects. I don't have any titles or any names that I can reveal at this moment. Even if I did, I don't think I would. We'll let that be a mystery for the time being. But yeah, definitely albums coming and more
Mm-hmm.
singles. One of my things this year was I wanted to drop two singles a month this year, and then it slowed
Mm-hmm.
down. Some things happened with some of the singles and features and stuff. It didn't allow me to do that, but I was able to do one single a month this year. So if you guys are looking for new music, I definitely have a lot of music I dropped this year, and then
Mm-hmm.
ramping up to the EP. like I said, I just want to kind of let that breathe. So it won't be any more singles dropped this year, I don't believe, unless I don't know, maybe I don't know. We'll see. I do
Okay.
have some stuff I might want to release. I might want to release, but I really, like I said, just it's important to me that people get a chance to get a hold of this project and really appreciate
Yeah.
what Nate and I were able to do with it
Now, is your project on Spotify right now?
on all streaming
Oh,
platforms.
all
Make
streaming
sure y'all,
platforms.
yeah, it's Marley, ITSMARLY, and Nate Fox. Dreams don't expire.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out, and listen, because I'm one of the biggest supporters in this city. No brag. I ain't bragging. I'm just stating the fact.
No,
so I,
that's 100.
yeah, no question. So I definitely want to take a listen because I like supporting artists such as yourself and others. And yeah.
I think you'll
So,
like it, bro. I think you'll like what I'm doing on there. I think you'll
oh,
enjoy it. Not
okay.
only for not only for supporting, you know what I mean, but I think you'll just genuinely enjoy it, and it'll be a part of
Yeah.
your rotation once you get a chance to check it out.
No question. No question. And
So,
my next question is, where do you see yourself in the years to come with your artistry and your music?
uh, we got big things coming up, man. We
Yeah.
got big things coming up. Um, more tours, more life, more records. I'm still waiting to drop a classic record. I mean, that's what it's about. I want to give the people something that's when I say a classic record, I mean like a classic album. Um, so maybe that, I don't know. Hopefully that. But just big things, man. We're gonna hit some big stages. We're gonna shake up the world, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna do the things that uh that that people define as successful. We're going to do some things like the LA Leaker freestyles, the Sway freestyles, all those type of things. They're
Hmm.
coming up, man. So that's where I see myself. Amongst the people that people would consider great. I'll be amongst
Hmm.
those names.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, I know it's in September, and I know, have you did some touring this year? Have you performed out of the city this year?
I don't think so. I can't recall exactly. I don't believe I've been out of the city this year.
Okay.
I have done some shows around the city this year. I don't think I've been out of the city this year.
Okay.
I can't recall for certain, man. I don't want to give a definitive answer and be wrong later on, but yeah, always performing, always looking to book gigs and things like that, and um, I've definitely had some opportunities to do some dope stuff. Shout out to all the promoters and the people that's keeping the scene alive by allowing and creating spaces for artists to perform. Shout out to those people because it's difficult to do that and to keep it going. So shout out to everyone who's a part of making that happen.
Hmm.
Venues are shutting down all the time, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. They took out the Hard Rock Cafe
Yeah.
down at
Yeah. I
Station
seen it.
Square in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and
That
that
was a
was one of my
tragedy.
favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite venues to perform at. I've been fortunate to perform there a few times, and I hate to see venues like that go, and many more have went that I've seen that I've been a part of and performed at.
Hmm.
So shout out to everyone who keeps that going. RTM was one of those venues. I mean, you hate to
Yeah.
see
Rock till
stuff
morning.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I missed that one
Um,
too.
yeah, so rest in peace to those venues that aren't no longer with us to
Right.
give us those
Right.
platforms and give us those stages to rock on because we need that. It's
Yeah.
important that artists have those because you can hear the music, you can see the videos, you can stream it, you can do all that, but there's nothing um, like live entertainment. There's nothing that matches live entertainment. I'm on my rocking chair, that's why I'm in
Oh
my
no, you
backyard on
good.
my rocking
No,
chair, so I'm rocking. No,
no, you good.
um,
You chilling. No, you good.
um, but yeah, so it's we need those spaces. So shout out to
Yeah.
everyone that provides those spaces. Shout out to the promoters and all of those people that provide those spaces for us to rock.
Absolutely, no doubt. Shout out to them. Now I know Club Cafe on the I think it's on the south side or across the street. One of them, one of those areas. I know that venue made a comeback because I think it was closed early this year, I believe.
Okay, I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
that spot.
yeah. I know. I think they doing an open mic actually right now, but I never been there before. But I heard some good things about it. And speaking of
Okay.
venues, I know you mentioned the Shadow Lounge a few minutes ago. Have you
Yeah.
got the opportunity to perform at the Shadow Lounge? If so, how was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I've performed at Shadow Lounge a number of times. Man, Shadow Lounge is one of the cornerstones of Pittsburgh hip hop. It's one of the things that help build legends. It's one of the things that legendary artists like Real Deal, who's huge in the battle space. If you guys
Hmm.
aren't familiar with Real Deal, he's an incredible MC out of Pittsburgh, who's in the battle space and making a name for himself. He's on the URL battles and Smack and all those big battle platforms. He's performed at Shadow Lounge. Mac
Hmm.
Miller, of course. Um, Rest in peace to Mac, man. He's performed at the Shadow Lounge. I got to see Mac there perform on the same shows as Mac. That's where Rom Calisthenics was held at. I've never been a
Hmm.
part of that, unfortunately. I think I would have been
Hmm.
pretty good at it, but it's just it was such an important space to us, and yeah, I've definitely got an opportunity to perform out there at different points.
Okay, okay. And since we're on the topic of Shadow Lounge, I know they did an anniversary event near East Liberty. I think back in June of this year. It
Yeah.
was a block. I think it was a block party. Did
Yeah,
you
it was
partake?
around where the old Shadow Lounge once
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Now, was you in attendance for that?
I was not, unfortunately. I had other events going on at that time, but I did have a severe case of FOMO, fear of missing out during that time. I definitely wanted to be
Yeah.
um, at least in attendance, if not a part of it, an active participant. But
Okay.
yeah, man. No, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend that.
Oh man, yeah, I'm pretty sure you will love it because I was there, to show support and whatnot. So it was great vibes. I saw a couple of footage on YouTube. Artists
Hmm.
doing rhyme cali. How you pronounce that again?
Rom Calisthenics, yep.
Yeah, yeah, they did that.
Rom Cal for
Yeah,
sure.
Rhyme Cow. Okay, Rhyme Cow for sure. I could pronounce that, but yeah, Rhyme Cow for
Yeah.
sure. And it was a great time. I'm glad I was there. Even though I'm from another city, but I heard a lot of
Hmm.
great things about the Shadow Lounge, how it opened the doors for artists such as
Yeah.
yourself to blossom and
Yep.
and do other tremendous things in the city.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, Shadow Lounge is like no other. It had a spirit about it. There was never any
Hmm.
drama. It was never anything, no violence, nothing like that. You know, what I mean, it was always a nice environment to go into. And if you was there as
Hmm.
a performer, you had to bring it. And if you was there as a spectator, you knew you were going to be in for some great entertainment. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. S-
rest in
s-
peace to
s-
them.
Yes, yes. Rest in peace to those venues that we just mentioned. So, before we conclude this interview, can you tell the listeners and followers of your music where they can find you at and follow you
Yeah,
at?
man. Yeah, for sure. So a couple of things before. So let me do what you asked me first.
Okay.
Marley State of Mind on IG. Marley State of Mind for sure. Blamo, Blamo on IG. Make sure you follow the brand.
Hmm.
All streaming. It's Marley, ITSMARLY on all streaming
Hmm.
platforms. And a bunch of Bull Studios. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Bunch of Bull Studios. That's what the
Absolutely.
podcast is, the Marley State of Mind podcast. Also, before we get out of here, I definitely wanted to talk about the Blamo brand. And like yourself, man, I've done some acting this year. So I'm real happy about that. I'm
Yes.
real excited. For some of those things to be released. I was fortunate enough to be a part of that Mayor of Kingstown.
Yes.
Did some background work for that, and I also got a feature role on that. Actually, to
Okay.
start off with, so make sure you look out for me on season 4, Mayor of
Okay.
Kingstown. I'm in there
Nice.
um,
Nice.
for sure. But with the Blamo brand, it's something I'm real proud of. I was able to collaborate with Daily Bread and Sean Devine of Daily Bread with his Danny Devine studio, which is
Uh huh.
dedicated to his brother who passed away.
Yeah.
Danny Devine, and we collaborated to create my brand Blamo, which is something I had in mind for a long time. I always
Hmm.
thought to myself like how powerful it would be if we seen black faces on currency. How
Absolutely.
powerful, how empowering that would be. So the idea was inspired from that. So that's exactly what I did. My first drop is the Malcolm X $100 bills
Yeah.
um, on a tee. It's just one of many drops that are to come. And it's a movement. It's not just stitching fabric. We're stitching history. It's not just something you wear. It's something you represent.
Hmm.
And that's the idea behind it. So it's something real powerful. If y'all want to get those, make sure you reach out to me. I do have tees, for sale, all sizes. And then we're going to drop some more different tees with the same theme. Different historical figures on different denominations of money, and we'll have hoodies and things like that as well. So make sure
Okay.
y'all tap into the Blamo brand, man. Like I said, it's not just what you wear, it's what you represent.
Yeah. No
That's our
doubt.
theme, that's our motto. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all tap in with Blamo. Make sure you tap in with the Marley State of Mind podcast every
Hmm.
Saturday at a bunch of Bull
Yeah.
Studios, the world's dopest podcast. Make sure y'all tap in with us there. You know what I mean? And please, if you do nothing else, any of those things, spend that dreams don't expire, man. That was something that was came from the heart. Like I said, I'm real
Yeah.
proud of it. So
Yeah, no doubt. Congrats on the new EP. Congrats on the new
yes, sir.
EP for sure. No doubt, good brother. And ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Facebook, Malik Long. I have a page for my podcast, the Cool Podcast with the Cool Brother on Facebook. If you want to be a guest, inbox me on my personal page or my podcast page, both on
Make sure y'all
Facebook.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you want to be a guest, so let's set it up. I also do in-person interviews as well. So
Yes,
if you want
sir.
to be a guest, I'll come to you, or hey, it's whatever. I follow your lead. We could go to your spot or a location, a different location, or we could do it over the phone. It's your call. The choice is yours. Monstar Marley, good brother. Congrats on your success. Congrats on the new EP, your albums, your
Appreciate you.
acting, your podcast.
Yes,
And if
sir.
you want to be a guest for the third time's a charm, as they say,
Yeah.
feel free to hit me up, good brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for allowing me the space to come in and push my brain and be on this side of it. I mean, I often wish I could do more things like this where I could talk about my journey. Because there's so much more to it. We just scratched the surface, but I appreciate when people allow me to do things like this, and yeah, man, you're doing a great thing here. Um, you know,
Likewise for you, good brother.
your podcast was one of the first that I've not the first, but one of the first that I've
Hmm.
been a part of, and I appreciate you extending an invitation out to me that time, and certainly appreciate you having me back to talk
No
about the
doubt, man.
EP this time, man. Thanks so much. Thank you
No
for what you
doubt,
do.
man. No
Yeah,
doubt. And likewise for you. Thank you for what you do and your contributions in the
yes,
hip
sir.
hop scene in the 412, man. And on that note, you have a blessed night, good brother. Salute.
Peace.
Peace.